This is a little video update on what's going on with each of the birds. Mander's coming out more and more. He still has issues with his twisted pelvis, so he gets a little nervous. If he thinks anybody's going to come after him, now he either decides whether he's going to stand his ground or he runs away. Stands his ground more often than not. He's pretty good at eating his food. He eats the edamame, chews a little bit of the birdie biscuit usually, but he's maintaining his weight and his behavior is good. He wants another piece of cardboard. He just chewed up one. That's what that big pile is there. The paper gets changed in the cage once a day. And I'm about ready to go back and change food and water. If they're night food and water. Hey you! Romeo's doing better. He's coming out more. Aren't you? He hates cameras though. Point a camera at him and this is what you get. Right, Rome? This is what you get when you point a camera. But he's doing his art. He's a sculptor, as you can see. He likes to sculpt the wood. And when a perch finally gets chewed up too much to be in his cage, that main perch there, then he gets it down there to chew on. He's starting to sculpt that one. Right, boy? Right? His weight and his vitals are all good. He's still a little on the paranoid side. You would be too if you couldn't walk properly. Right? Yeah. But you're a good boy, aren't you? Yes, you are a good boy. Yes, you are. And Cause, she went out with me today. She's maintaining her weight. Vital signs all good. Eats well, don't you? Don't you? She hasn't said hi cockatoo in a while though. Today she went out with me to get 70 gallons of water. Yeah, I have to buy good water locally. And it's got almost, well, last time I checked 2 parts per million. That's almost nothing in the way of contaminants in there. But she's doing well. Her favorite food is sunflower seeds. That's her treat. Romeo, petting is his treat. Mander's edamame. And we all know you. Peanut butter is your favorite treat. The occasional French fry with no salt, right, is also. She's maintaining weight. She's behavior is getting a lot better. She's chewing up a lot of toys. Today, though, there aren't too much refuse. She's got a new toy in there, and she hasn't started playing with it. I still have to put out a few toys today, too. You can see that Cecil's doing well. I have to give him a piece of paper to play with, or he pulls all the paper out from underneath. This is a great cage, but they should have put more room at the bottom so the birds can't grab the paper. He's becoming a little aggressive. It's mating behavior right now, but I mean, he doesn't bite, but he gives me that big old open beak thing. Right now I'm working on his upper beak. It's overgrowing a little bit. Teaching him to get closer and closer to that. It's taking a long time with him to get him to use the Dremel, but without the Dremel right now I'm just using an emery board to keep it down. Otherwise he's got no other issues. Right, big boy? He doesn't like being in a cage. You wouldn't either. He's much more active outside of the cage. Hi. She's still on major haloperidol. If you take her down, she'll start chewing on her chest, so we don't do that. Otherwise, her behavior is fine. She's eating well. She does her song. Don't you? The Jazzy Jazzbird song? Do you do the Jazzy Jazzbird song? You do the Jazzy Jazzbird? Yeah. Yep. As far as Haldol, Mander back there is on 0.06. And Cause is on 0.12. She's on 0.20. He's not on any. And you're on 0.16, aren't you? I had her down to 0.11 at one time, but mating behavior started, and the next thing you know, she needed more. Can get you to sing, huh? You gonna sing for me? Jasmine. And then there's Lorelei. She's on 0.16. Yeah, she's on as much as that big bird over there. But you can see her feathers look okay, but she gets a little bit chewy whenever the medicine's just coming down a bit. Don't ya? Don't ya? Yeah, everything's normal with her except for that. She's a little aggressive in mating season with other birds. You gotta watch it. There's the KK bird. He's on .06 Haldol. I had him off it for a while, but you can kind of see on his feathers, he started chewing them a bit, so I had to take him back up some. Can't let him get too far because it'll progress to self-injury where they actually injure their own skin, and that can be fatal. So, and I've had that happen where a bird just had a slight injury and tore into themselves. So we're careful about that, right? Right, big boy? He's doing a lot better than he has been in the past. He's getting along with most of the other birds. He rarely gets out of control. It happens sometimes. He'll hang down like a bat and go after a bird that's in my lap, that kind of thing out in the aviary. But for the most part, he's doing great. Aren't you, big boy? KK the bird. KK bird. He's a hard one to give medicine. I got to show you this. I use this. I put it on the side of his head to keep his head still. All right. He doesn't like syringes. I don't know what they did to him with syringes, but this syringe with a little toy on it doesn't bother him as much, so it's easier to get the medicine to him. But it's a combination of those two to get medicine. What'd you say, big boy? What'd you say? Did say KK the bird? Yeah, KK the bird. The noise in here is all the air filters. And there's Lucy. And with Lucy, I have to deal with her eye. This eye on this side. Let's see if I can get a closer picture of it. Oh, come on. What happens with it is it starts closing up a little bit, and the reason for that is I think there's nerve damage in there from when Bob attacked her, which is why Bob is only allowed in the aviary now. So, or if I have enough time to take him back into the socialization room by himself, he's just not good with birds anymore, and he's unpredictable. Well, I can to some degree predict it. Hi, baby. But she's doing fine. She's on, how much are you on there, little girl? 0.10. She's been on the same one for a long time. This is Pippa. She's also on Haldol. She's on 0.10. And I can show you pictures of why she's on it. Each of these birds, all the birds here that are on it look a lot better today than they did when they came in, right? What? I just talked to you and you start vibrating? Huh. I haven't had that effect on a female in years. Well, thank you. She's doing well, a little aggressive. There's a few birds I have to be careful with. She was making a friendship with Snowball, who's in the cage next to her, but she doesn't like him playing with frisbees. So when he's playing with a frisbee, she'll go after him. That's right. That's right. She says that's right, so. Oh, the other thing about her I almost forgot to mention is that the last time she got in a fight, she started fighting with Snowball, and he's just trying to protect himself. She got just a little tiny injury on that nail right there. And I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't put my finger in her cage, or your finger in her cage. Mine I can do, but just a tiny injury there. She started sneezing again. And what did that mean? That meant 10 days of Baytril. And Snowball has a problem with, it's not gonna do that, is it? I have to do it this way. With that pad on his foot, I have to keep working it to keep it down. It'll overgrow, so when it does, he starts limping. Right? Yeah, when he gets 0.06, because he started just yanking out some of his small semi-plumes. He was just yanking them out, so that's right. He's a good talker and a sweet bird, aren't you? But he's looking good. I was shocked to see that he'd been off of Haldol for quite some time. You may have noticed different numbers on their cage. I have to go and change some of them because it has changed over time. And here's Bob. And Bob has his little problem. You can see he's got a dirty vent. He has to get a bath once a week. It's not really safe. I give him water baths frequently, but he gets a bath with a special soap once a week because he doesn't like, well, he doesn't like being dirty. He's gotten so aggressive with other birds that I can't have him in that socialization room. He's okay in the aviary, but we can't always be out there. Unless I want to take it apart and put it in one of these rooms, there's no way to do that, so. And I don't know, I think he'd still act the same way if it was inside. Outside he acts differently. Don't you, Bob? So he has started a little bit of feather plucking. I'm hoping it doesn't go any farther, because he doesn't do well on Haldol. I tested him on it when he was trying to mess with a few of his feathers before, and it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to dilute it and give him like a half of like 0.01 milliliter or something. You decided to do that song, did you? You decided to do that song? Babaloo. He's a sweet bird. Does well with kids and everything outside of here. You wouldn't let him be held by anyone other than me in this facility. But if he's out and about, he's fine with other people. Just not good with other birds right now. And it's not like I haven't worked on it. I have to work on him there. And Romeo comes out once a day for sure at night for a half hour to an hour, depending on how much time I have. I sit with him, read him books, put a movie on, sit with him and pet him, talk to him. Highly cage territorial, by the way. I could not reach in there and try to grab one of these pieces of artwork he's doing below. He will bite me if I try that. If he's on the bottom of the cage and you reach to grab him, he will bite you. He doesn't understand it. To get him out of the cage, he has to either be up on one of these perches, this perch here, or that perch. Yeah, sometimes this one's okay. You have to look at him and see how his eyes look. Best way is to put a chair right here and then sit next to him. You put the chair there and you open the door, put the chair down, he'll come over and get in your lap. And that's the best way. He doesn't like getting too far from his cage. Of course, he has missing feathers because some idiot veterinarian basically mutilated him for money. So he cannot grow back 4 of his primaries. So, but he's doing well, aren't you? Now, to cut his nails is a special thing with him too. I can either file them down while I'm sitting with him. That's tough, but it works. Or I can get him up like this. When he gets up like this, I can take a nail cutter and catch his nails from here. And he does kind of fight me, but I'm about ready to do that again because we're getting along again. That's a basic update on the birds. So I have to go through and clean their cages now, but I wanted you guys to kind of see what's going on. So that's it for this video.